Well, just tell him. Don't heat him up.
He said yes.
Oh, of course. Ready? I call this regular session of the Lovington City Commission to order. Miss Shannon, roll call, please.
Mayor Roberts.
I'm here.
Commissioner White.
Here.
Commissioner Ramon.
Here.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Here.
Commissioner Perry.
Here.
All right, if you'll join us our invocation this evening, Commissioner White is passing it off.
I am.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I'm so grateful to come together as a community. Lord, I pray continued blessings on this commission, on all of our city leaders. Lord, we pray for the constituents of the city, and Lord, we just pray for beautiful times. Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day, this beautiful weather, and just pray for your continued blessings. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
If you'll join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zeta symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. You may be seated. Excuse me. All right. We're looking for a motion on the minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to consider the minutes of June 15, 2026 as submitted. Second.
Okay, a motion and second for the adoption of the minutes. Any corrections, additions? Ms. Ball, yes.
To remove resolution 2026-037. We have not received the red lines from the company for that. So if we just want to remove it, this time actually remove it and we'll wait till they get that to us before we put it on the agenda.
We can't
Okay.
remove it. We'll just have to.
Yeah, we'll just
Get
vote it, or we'll, whatever, when we get there.
Okay.
But thank you, yes. All right, any further discussion on the minutes? If not, Ms. Shannon.
Commissioner Ramon.
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Mayor Roberts.
Yes.
Commissioner Perry.
Yes.
All right, brings us to our staff and commissioner report. Ms. Shannon.
Yes, I have a budget adjustment for you all to sign tonight, so please, hang around till we can get that signed before you leave.
Well, you're jumping to the supposition that we're going to approve that. Isn't that right, Mr. Fierro?
That's correct.
Okay.
If approved,
I'm just
stand
kidding.
corrected.
I'm just giving Mr. Fierro a little hard time. So he has to beg, every time.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We will hang around.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Nora.
Mayor, Commissioners, I do not have a
Thank you. Chief.
Yes, sir. Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager, we have one uncertified officer in the process, and we have two uncertified that'll be going through the interview on Wednesday. We'll have an officer complete his final paperwork for the Law Enforcement Academy that'll start in August. We have on July the 16th, we have school supplies will be given away. That'll be at 5 o'clock until the supplies are all gone. We'll have hot dogs, other snacks for the kids, and the kids will need to be present for that. Working with Methodist Church on Faith and Blue, we'll team up with them, and that's going to be in October. We'll have more information going forward. Trying to have a fall festival and more details once we get a little closer. And I'd like to just take a minute and say thank you to David Rouser, the pastor of Jackson Avenue Baptist Church, for the first responder luncheon and games at Chaparral Park Week. Today, we had a really good time. Lots of questions.
All right, questions, Commissioner? I don't see any. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Fire Chief, welcome back.
Thanks, sir. Mr. Mayor's member of the commission. So we've hired 3 new employees in the last month. They're all uncertified. However, they are all willing to learn and show great promise for the future. So it's looking good. It has been confirmed that the fireworks show will be shot off from the fairgrounds on the 4th of July. So it will not be shot from the park. It will be at the fairgrounds. We will have a truck on scene there, but everything else will be at the park. You know, we'll have the crews there that are patrolling, and the water polo, of course, will be there as well. And I just wanted to shout out and give a thanks to the young men who are keeping the businesses mode in the city. It's looking really good, and they're doing an awesome job. And just keep up the good work because it's looking good. They were out this morning, so. Other than that, I'll stand for any questions.
All right, questions? Commissioner?
So on the fourth, since you're moving the fireworks, you're gonna be able to keep industrial open, correct?
Yes, sir.
Great.
I'm not having it blocked. If PD wants to block it, that's on them as far as traffic control. But that's one of the whole reasons we wanted to open it, because we were always have some people go around the barriers and still coming through there, and we're have to tell people, hey, you can't come through here. Like, we've got fireworks, you know?
Right.
So this way it's more secure. It's in a fenced in area. Nobody can get to it. And it's safety for the public and safety for my business.
Thank you.
Further questions? See none? Thank you. Chief, appreciate it. Commissioner Rodriguez.
I have nothing today.
Oh, wow, okay.
Thank you.
Commissioner Ramon.
Good for me.
Commissioner White.
I'm good.
All right, you're back and you're quiet.
I know.
Commissioner Perry.
So a couple times in the last week, I've been approached by citizens of Lovington with positive remarks on the baseball field, softball field, the park. So they're doing a good job maintaining and keeping the grass cut. And I know that Commissioner Rodriguez has kind of pushed for that. So I just tell everybody thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Perry. But I should take the credit. It should go to
Yes,
Mr. Robert.
absolutely.
Mr. Perry. All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Fierro.
Good afternoon, Mayor. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir, and you?
Fine. Thank you. Commissioners, how are you?
Good.
I'm gonna keep it brief. Defer until my discussion on the accounting services.
All right.
I'll incorporate it all at the same time. That's as brief as you're ever gonna get, Joe.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
City manager.
Same from me, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. Other than what was in your report this weekend, I have nothing. We have 5 presentations for you tonight, so, but I'd be happy to stand for any questions if you have.
Okay, questions? I have hearing none, thank you. Ms. Ball.
Mayor Commissioners, I don't have anything this evening. I have 2 items on the agenda. We'll go over those as we get to them. Unless you have any questions for me, that's all I have.
Okay, questions? I see none.
You guys
Alright.
all got my report on NMDOT?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Hopefully, I don't know when that corner will be fixed, but they plan.
Okay, awesome,
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you, Commissioner White.
you're welcome.
Pushing.
Question.
All right, we are moving right along this evening. I did not receive a public comment sheet. Does anyone have anything that's dire to get out? No one's jumping up, so we're moving on. Brings us to our non-action items. First is a presentation by Mr. Williams for phase 1 of the animal shelter. We just want to say welcome to our chambers this evening, and thank you for attending our meeting and doing your presentation.
Thank you all very much for having me. Again, my name is Dave Williams, architect with RMK Architecture in Albuquerque. And we are here tonight to present the Animal Protection Services project summary, and also what we call pre-phase 1, which is the modular kennels and site work that's to be done on the project. Thank you all for having me. I've been working a long time on this project with Laura Jordan, so thank you for all your assistance that you've been giving me on the project. She's been very helpful, and we basically put this thing together. Also on the project, Leslie, the grant development manager, has been extremely helpful on this project. and also from Artisans Guild, the selected contractor, general contractor for the project. We got Kiwi attending also for us. So I'm going to talk briefly about phases 1 through 3, and then also about pre-phase 1, which is going to kind of be the first phase on this. So what we had kind of programmed or worked out with Laura is kind of a large scale project, but we shouldn't be too kind of scared about this because we can actually break this project down into smaller, more manageable pieces on this thing. It does have a hefty price tag, but if we look at it in terms of actually what we can actually break it down as, and the function of it, the big building, that's kind of what we call as phase 1. That when we did this back in December of 2024, looks like that big project is going to be about 18 million, but we can actually take that down into some smaller pieces. We can actually look at it in terms of the kennels not being included in this, and we can look at the barn as kind of a first phase on that, which would be about 1.8 million or so. Actually a little bit higher now because of escalation of cost in the estimate. So that project would look something like this in kind of three-dimensional form. And then after that, we could actually do the kennel part of it afterwards, which is about 6.8 million.
Wow.
And that could be done at a future phase also. And then another future phase that Laura and I identified is this part up here to the north, which is the surgical component of it, right?
Quarantine.
And quarantine, right? And we did actually go over this with the fire chief, and there would be a kind of service drive going through this whole thing, but it would be maintained open during the time, and the fire department would have access so they could get all the way to the back of the property at that point. And with all those phases together, the last phase would actually be a park and additional parking for the project at that time. So that would complete a multi-year big project for animal protection services. And just some renderings that we got of it, just to kind of show what it would kind of look on the site with the existing facility, the existing facility removed on there, and another view also. And looking south, and kind of looking into that yard. So what I want to talk about tonight is pre-phase 1, and that's the part that we've actually really spent some time on. The selected contractor I told you was Artisans Guild, and together we actually worked out this schedule. It's going to start here. They've actually started doing the site work on there, and we're looking at sometime in late September, early October with substantial completion, right? Yeah. And that project, not counting the modular dog kennels, just the site work and utility work and kind of all the other kind of general requirements of that, would be about $150,000 for that. The two modular dog kennels would be about, was that 400 or 500?
Close to 500,000.
Close to 500,000, thank you. So that would be the first, what we call pre-phase of this. And what that's going to be is these two modular kennels, about 60 feet by 20 feet. They're manufactured out of state. We've been working real hard with the kennel manufacturer Horizon Structures, and they actually come out of Pennsylvania. That was a preferred manufacturer that you've looked at a whole bunch of them, and these seem to satisfy basically all of the requirements and needs that you had on there. So they come in pieces, and they built and they put it together on the site. what Laura and her staff would like is to have these two units kind of facing, so the kennels are facing one another. And that's gonna be on the north portion of the site where that old mobile home was. That's now been removed from there. These other items I put there kind of show the future phases around there, but we actually had to plan all that stuff out first. So we can know there's gonna be this open space for the modular kennels, which is the red arrow right up there. So what that is, it's gonna involve the two kennels, site work, some utility work, electrical work. Both these kennels come with heating and cooling units inside of them. Lighting, so basically all they gotta do is plug and it's ready to go. So what it is a sanitary sewer hookup, electrical hookup, and also water hookup as well. Plus some ramps on their work platforms, so it's accessible for everybody. So that's kind of what it's gonna look like, this first phase on here. Artisans Guild has already started doing some work on the site. They did their preliminary grading and staking of the site. So it's in good shape, and come around the latter part of August is when the kennels will be delivered to the site. At that point, they'll be put on concrete footings on the site. And who knows how long they'll stay there, as long as they're needed, obviously. But until funding comes, appropriated for the future phases on this site. So again, here's kind of some elevations and sections of it. There will be metal work platforms on there, ramps, stairs, fully accessible. But that's what we got for y'all tonight. Any questions for myself or for anybody else?
I have one, and that is, a lot of the commissioners that are here, this is probably their first introduction to this. So, how about a quick, what capacity, upon completion? I mean, I know you probably don't deal with, the way we operate with the county and all of that, but, how many, this may be a question for Miss Jordan too. How many animals are we going to be able to house or whatever? What's the ultimate goal there?
So both of those, there's 10 kennels in each of those buildings. So that'll give us 20 additional. You can, for a large dog, it's only gonna fit one. There is no magic number, but if there's a litter of puppies that come in, if there's 3 to 5, depending on the size of the puppies, then you can fit a whole litter. So there's not that magic number of, but it will give you at least 20 more kennels and 20 more animals at the very least, if it was large dogs, 1 per kennel. But if you can fit medium to small dogs, you can fit 2 to 3. So that'll up our capacity quite a bit, actually. So in the wintertime, it's not gonna, what's gonna make a huge difference is in the winter, we shut down yards in the winter because of the cold weather. So this is going to allow us to be able to have more space in the wintertime and be able to keep them for a longer term to get them to rescues. And that's really gonna help. And then this heat hasn't been very wonderful either. We have some really hot days. So it's gonna be nice because it's gonna be heated, AC. It's gonna be really great when it comes for the puppies and disease control because these are in and out kennels. And one of the reasons the expenses on these kennels, they're gonna have solid walls. So it's gonna be great because that's gonna help with basically quarantine and isolation. So there's a lot of great purposes to these buildings that's gonna help us out tremendously.
Awesome. Thank you.
I gotta say, Laura's been extremely passionate about this project, and she's been a tremendous help to the design team to put this program together. And after we got all the pieces, it just made it that much easier to kind of generate an idea and a future price tag for that. Thanks a lot.
Sounds good. All right.
Any questions?
Any questions? Staff? Anyone in the audience? All right. Well, thank you again for being here this evening. We appreciate it, and we're excited to move forward with it.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
All right, brings us to our second non-action item, presentation of human resources general position. And I'm guessing she's gonna be on Zoom.
She is, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. I just wanted Ms. Darby to kind of go over the analysis she did for the city, justifying the need for a full-time HR generalist role. She kind of does a study, a mixed-use position that, you know, that person would do some HR generalist stuff, some other stuff, and why maybe that may not be a good idea. So she's gonna show you the various options as we go out and post for this position. I thought she did a really good job on the analysis.
Yeah, I read this.
I'm here, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, I am here for questions. Did you get the proposal that I had put together already?
Yes, it was in our packet.
Awesome. Okay, awesome. Do you want me to just go through it, or would you like to ask questions? How would you like me to do this?
Good question. Hang on just a second.
Holly, maybe you could start by the very overview that you made there at the very top about our staffing of 140 people, in your opinion, justifies basically 1.5 or 1.5 HR generalists in-house?
Yes, I got that number from, the Society of Human Resources Management. They are, a lot of HR professionals say that that's our mothership. But they keep up with trends, with technology. They do so much of the research and to make sure that we are keeping up with this, legal standards. And one of the things they do is look at ratios, how many HR to the number of employees that you have. And with your current workforce, I believe is 140, might be flexing a little bit just because you've had some exits and some entries. The ratio they usually suggest is, like you just mentioned, 1 to 2. And I understand that this role has been a dual role before. And with my work coming in, working with Miss Shannon, she has a full-time job as it is as the city clerk. And, you know, she's trying to keep up with 2 full-time jobs. And so that's where I came in and looked at it and did the audit May 4th and 5th. And just finding some of those basic errors during my audit, I really feel like an HR generalist would be a perfect fit for you guys. That would kind of help with any type of budget needs, but it would keep you compliant. And it not being a dual role is probably my biggest suggestion, is just to give somebody a little more focused time and effort. We are dealing with people's livelihoods with their pay and their benefits. And accuracy is our number 1 priority. And so having somebody focused on that is where I'm suggesting.
Okay, and I've switched to the second page, which is titled "The Case for a Dedicated HR Generalist." So kind of along the lines of what you were just talking about.
Yes, I'm planning on helping as much as I can with standardizing the new hire process, developing, Ms. Shannon had a real abbreviated checklist for new hires, and I'm kind of putting that, taking what she had and expanding it to help with the onboarding process, making sure everybody's getting the same thing, make sure the, it fits into the current payroll structure. Same with the termination process, making sure the benefits are enrolled or exiting the benefits. Just having somebody's eyes on that 24/7 is always a good idea. But it keeps it a little bit more consistent where everybody coming in is seeing the same exact thing.
Any questions so far?
I have one question, and I'm going back, I'm sorry, to the industry benchmarks. I was a little confused on, okay, on these 2 levels that are that are the example here. You have 1 to 99 employees, and the benchmark ratio is 2.57 per 100. Okay, and then the organization size jumps 100 to 249, and it's got 1.22 per 100. Well, there's only 100 in the 1 to 199, so that would seem like that would be the baseline, would be the 2.5. I was just a little confused as to how what the difference was there. It didn't add up correctly.
Okay, and I did take that straight off of the Society of Human Resources website. They've done the research into this and maintaining those ratios. And the way I've always read that, I see where you're coming from on the way it looks. I can understand what you're saying. Usually when an organization is 1 to 300, they are a little bit more decentralized in their activities. You know, you have specialists at that time, not just generalists. That's also usually where payroll is outsourced completely. And so you have a little bit different structures when the organization gets bigger, it seems. And as an example, you might have a recruiter or a trainer that works under HR but might not have hands-on to the HRS system or payroll or the benefits part of it. You seem to have a little bit more specialties in the larger organizations, so the numbers might look a little different, but that's also relying more heavily on technology and not so much of the manual processes.
Okay, thank you.
No, I understand what you're saying and how it looks. It does look a little different. But, you know, the 1.22 for 100, you know, if you're up in the 200s, you're probably having 2.5 to 3 people on staff.
Right. Okay.
Holly, I just switched to page 3, which is the scope of retained HR consulting services, and basically what someone like yourself might offer in conjunction with having an on-site HR generalist.
Yes, and many organizations kind of seem to be, I shouldn't say, several seem to be leaning more towards the structure of having a generalist, boots on the ground, if you will, person on staff handling the day-to-day functions. And that kind of helps with keeping the budget a little bit more easy to handle, and then outsourcing the bigger ticket items. And that's where more of the legal specialties come in, and that's where a little bit more oversight comes in. And so that's where I would serve the city of Lovington. And if they do decide on doing an HR generalist, I would keep handling policies or workplace investigations, some of the more complex issues, because then that's not going to take your HR generalist out of her day-to-day operations. Because so many times when you have 140 employees, you're just in survival mode. You know, you're trying to keep your hair from catching fire. So you really don't have time to make sure your policies are intact, or if you do need to have an objective outsider coming in and doing an investigation, that's where an outside consultant would help.
Okay, and I'm on your last slide, which is the 2-layer HR model.
And this is just reiterating kind of what I've already mentioned on the layer of HR generalists. They're the internal. They're making sure that people are taken care of, pay, benefits. Because currently the way it's structured at the city of Lovington is the HR person, who right now is Shannon, is when a new person is hired or terminated, she's doing all of the data entry into the systems. And then it goes to payroll to run the actual payroll. Ms. Shannon right now is doing all of the benefit enrollments. As you know, we just went through open enrollment. So she's having to track all that, trying to make sure all of the information is in there. And so the HR generalist would be able to keep that up to date, make sure it's all in order, and along with the situations that we have found in the audit, making sure those are priorities to get those fixed as well.
Things like the I-9s and other things.
Yes, and that was on, I believe, page one. I just did two of the, items I found. Yeah, it's on page one. Findings from the HR operational audit, May 4th and 5th. Those were just two of the ones that I found during that audit. I concentrated pretty heavily on I-9s because I know, it was mentioned to me during my, onboarding, that was an area of concern. And I can see why it's an area of concern. The structure's there, but we have a little bit more, work to do on that. And then the file structure is in heavy repair, needed to be repaired as well. And so those are items that were found during the audit. And then on the costs, I did some, again, market research. I looked on several, websites and, SHRM being one of them, Indeed, Glassdoor, several, just to kind of get an idea of, base salary for an HR generalist. And then if you decided that you just wanted to have an HR manager or director, again, these are just numbers that, I did some research on. I could do some deeper research if necessary. And then if we did both, the HR journalist and retaining consulting is what I'm recommending.
Anyone have any questions? Guess that's, yeah.
All right, Holly, thank you very, very much for this.
No problem. Y'all have a great evening.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, City Manager. Moving on to our next non-action, the discussion of the investment policy. It's over here.
Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, a couple of weeks ago, I provided to the commissioners a proposed investment policy. I was tasked to come up with one. I consulted at least a half a dozen other municipalities, the biggest being the city of Albuquerque. The one kind of closest to us, maybe Farmington. And I really enjoyed doing this, so I thank you for the opportunity. The city of Lovington has never had an investment policy. We've never had an investment advisory board. But contrary to 5 years ago, we find ourselves with increasing amounts of idle cash. And most municipalities, which I was also not aware of, have adopted an investment plan. So with over $25 million of investable cash, some of this may be encumbered. 1% of interest or extra interest per year is $250,000. So back in 23, when we maybe had 7 million, you know, the stakes weren't as high as now. It's a good position to be in, so I feel it's time to get this done. So in the proposed policy I sent to you, I'll just go over some highlights. Mr. Fierro did check it over, made some edits. Commissioner Ramon. So obviously, the applicable funds will center mostly around the general fund, enterprise fund, special revenue funds, and capital projects funds. But this lists the whole number of funds that would be eligible. Then the next section, we broke it out into 3 portfolios. The second one is probably not as applicable right now, but it gives us that option for the future when maybe we want to get a little more sophisticated. The first one is a liquidity portfolio, which is basically a checking account. That's our day-to-day operations, cash, payroll, etc. So, but what most municipalities or all municipalities strive to do is to minimize the number of the amount of cash in this, because it's really earning little to no interest. Getting a little more sophisticated, you could have a cash matched portfolio, which is to have investments matched to known liabilities due or maturing in under 1 year. So that could be putting some money to work in CDs, for example. but it would require active management to make sure that you're always having CDs mature when payments need to be made. So, let me see. The core portfolio, there should be a 3 here, sorry about that, is to convert excess cash over and above the required liquidity portfolio level to earn assets. This will consist of operating reserves, bond proceeds. This is the majority of the money we have set aside right now. Some of it's encumbered, but for long amounts of time. And a good example of an instrument very suitable for the core portfolio is the New Mexico Global Government Pool, or LGIP, which is managed by the state treasury. It tends to offer the highest and safest rate of returns, but it actually is also very liquid, with money available same day or at the latest next day. But I was gonna check it today and I didn't have a chance, but it has been averaging a little north of 3.5% return, up to 4%. So because it's not for profit, in general, they average about 1.3% higher than other entities that manage money. And they take a very small management fee, it's 0.05%. So obviously, we need to go over investment protocols. The 3 main things to consider are, of course, safety. We keep money invested in maturities less than 5 years. We don't want it tied up for longer than that. Liquidity, things happen, things we don't plan for, so we should be able to access the cash relatively quickly. And then last is yield and return. It's subordinate to safety and liquidity requirements. But that being said, the city and its investment committee and finance director shall strive to obtain the highest yield on the city's idle cash, taking into account our risk constraints. And part of, being part of safety is diversification. You don't want all your eggs in one basket. So the commission is ultimately responsible for the creation, content, and oversight of the city investment policy. City manager is obviously involved in the implementation and oversight. City finance director will have a direct responsibility for the development and execution of the city's investment policy on a day-to-day basis. But with that comes oversight in the form of an investment committee. And going by other cities' investment committees like Rio Rancho, for example, it could be, and you can feel free to tweak this as you wish, but the mayor or their designee, city manager, city finance director, deputy finance director, 3 other individuals. I don't want to auto-enroll Commissioner Ramon in that role, but she would be someone that I would think of to be on this committee. The committee would meet once a quarter, and they and us would report to the city commission. But it's just another set of eyes, expertise in this area that could give the commission a little bit of comfort knowing that this was being monitored. Money can remain here locally, but there are some constraints. They list geographical boundaries of the city, collateralized in maturities of under 5 years. Most of these investment policies from around the state really lean heavily on the LGIP. They seem to view it as safe and the best return on your money, but there can be a mix of things, given the 3 portfolios that I described on page 1. So it should be listed that funds shall be placed in financial institutions at the highest interest rate available, obviously with strict adherence to the requirements mentioned in section 2 of investment objectives and covenants. So we are mandated to try to safely invest the taxpayer money for the greatest rate of return. And as the chart showed you, that can be as much as $250,000 to $300,000 a year, which could be used on infrastructure or salaries or anything the commission deems necessary. So we're lucky to have a finance director who's a CPA and has a lot of governmental experience. He will develop, or she, and maintain an ongoing cash management program. And if we get to that point in the future, we'll schedule investment maturity dates that can coincide with the requirements of the portfolio. So the city should never be caught short if we're all doing what the policy says we should be doing. And then lastly is internal controls, and this is standard for pretty much all the policies, just to make sure that there's no intermingling or it's all above board. It obviously would have to go before an auditor once a year as well. So with that being said, I'd be happy to stand for any questions, or Ed also is available for questions. But this is up for a vote later, and we would be basically authorizing Mr. Fierro to manage and possibly create the board tonight if you wanted to. But we could do that at a later time. Basically authorizes Mr. Fierro to implement this policy and start making adjustments as he sees fit within the requirements of the policy.
In reading the resolution and not having this document, I took it that we would probably be, the resolution would be to adopt the document, and then we'll have to set up a this committee.
Yes, sir.
So we can do that.
At a later date.
Yeah, and I would like to move quickly so that we could, continue in this direction. So, at least on our next meeting, let's have in the years that I've been on here, we have not created or dismantled a committee. So I don't know what all we officially need to do, but I'm sure that we can look that up and get all of we've listed the requirements for the committee, but the formation of a committee, and is it going to be in the same manner as our ongoing yearly adopted committees? I would say yes, but to add that to that list, I'm uncertain on how to do that. So we will, if you'll just research that.
So most of our committees are defined in ordinance, so you'd need to
We'll have to
probably
do an
adopt
ordinance, so
of
we'll have
how
to-
that committee is chose and their responsibilities.
And then we'll have to publicize it and everything else. So
Okay.
we better move quickly, just to try to get this thing done in the next month.
Okay, no problem, sir.
That was my opinion on it. Any other questions, discussion? Okay. All right. I think we're ready to move. I think we're now ready to move in the direction that Mr. Fierro has been asking us to move. All right. This brings us to our next item of discussion. Discussion of RFP for temporary governmental accounting and audit services. Mr. Fierro.
Good afternoon, good evening, Mayor, once again. I'm bringing, RFP, which is later that you'll be voting on, and see if you accept it. And, I came up with a couple of slides to kind of explain why. So if we look, I don't know which is easier for you to look at. I don't have a pointer here. But the finance department falls under the city right in here. You have a finance director. You have a deputy finance director, as the organization is currently structured. We have accounts payable supervisor, accounts payable, accounts receivable. We have payroll, and then within the utility billing, we have a billing supervisor, a senior billing clerk, and 2 billing clerks. And then we have the IT. Okay, Tony, next slide. Current vacancies. We'll skip over this, and maybe come back to it. Can I see the one, let's go back a little bit. Go back. Okay, so presently, this position is filled. The finance director, the deputy finance director is filled. The payroll clerk is unfilled at this moment. She resigned, this person resigned. Her last day of working was on Friday. These 2 positions are not filled. We have a supervisor here, and we have, an individual I guess we would consider, he's the most experienced as far as billing clerk. The IT is filled, gentleman sitting right here. Accounts payable supervisor, that's not filled. We kind of cut that out in budget constraints. AR, that's not filled. Well, I suppose we could consider Oscar and that, there's a gentleman there. And then we have someone working in AP. So we have 10 positions, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 positions. Currently, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 11 positions. And so we're trying to keep our head above water to do the accounting. And we're getting pressured to get the audit done. And
No.
so the pressure's coming from perhaps the commission. And also DFA, I'm sure would love to see an audit report. The auditor, he's ready and chomping at the bits to work on it. So let me give you an idea of what's done when you're preparing for an audit. We have a member on the board who prepares annually for an audit, so she might be able to understand, or she understands where I'm coming from. Okay, Tony, let's go forward. Let's go forward. Okay, so this is what we need to present to the auditor. We need electronic copies of all city ordinances, electronic copy of city resolutions, copies of federal and state grants, a schedule of expenditure of federal awards if we spend more than $750,000 in 25. The state grants, we need to present the original budget for the fiscal year ended 6/30/25. We have to present approved budget adjustments for that fiscal year. We need to present department revenue and expenditure summary. We need to basically present the insurance policies. We need a list of the audit firm or law firms working with the municipality. We need the names and addresses of all elected officials so they can be asked certain questions. We need the general ledger electronically. We need all the journal entries for the fiscal year. We need the bank statements reconciled. We need the New Mexico Finance Authority loan statements for the fiscal year. We need the pledged collateral for all banks. We need the schedule of accounts receivable and subsequent receipts for the year end. We need information regarding inventory. Next slide, Tony. We need a schedule of capital assets as of year end, including addition, deletions, and transfers of capital assets. In the fiscal year 6/30/24, we had a modified opinion on the overall financial statements because the scheduled capital assets for fiscal year 24 was not updated properly. So we're gonna have to take a look back on 24 to bring forward 25. We need a reconciliation of capital outlay within the governmental and enterprise funds. We need to calculate depreciation expense. We need to prepare schedule of accounts payable. We need accrued wages, compensated absences. We need a schedule of all debt. We need electronic copies of all loan agreements. We need a schedule of all grant activity. There should be a payroll reconciliation to reconcile the payroll reports to the general ledger. There should be documentation for accounts payable, the invoices, expenditures. We need information regarding gasoline, P card purchases. We need information regarding travel and per diem. We need a listing of all non-recurring vendors. We've expended over $10,000. We need a list of all bids. We need a list of the capital outlay purchase, equipment purchase under GSA, or perhaps some other entity, CES. We need copies of para reports, construction in progress. Next page. A schedule of commitments, contingencies, corrective action on the prior year's audit findings, electronic copies of quarterly reports submitted to the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration, Local Government Division. We need to calculate the net pension liability. We need to calculate the deferred inflows and outflows related to the pensions. We need to calculate leases receivable, leases payable. And we get all that done, we also have to look at implementation of GASB 101 compensated absences. Just wanted to give you a little flavor of what we're doing. And right now, we're just like trying our best we can to keep our heads above water.
So are these not kept each month? We got that for this month. We have this for this month. We have this for this month.
Well, first of all, we're just behind on all this stuff,
The best way to do is like start a day, and this is how we do it every month from now on. And then you can catch up on your others. Because if you always say you're gonna start, you don't. So you have to like say, starting July 1st, all these things will be put in here for this month. And then make sure it's done before August 1st.
Well,
And then you can work your way back on the ones you don't have.
How much of that do we have completed?
how much do we have to do?
No.
How
I
much
know
do you
how
have
much we have to
completed?
do, because you just gave us a list. How much of that do we have completed? 0?
Because a lot of it you could delegate to procurement and grants. Several of those were her items, and then several of them were the clerk's items. So it's not all just on you. And then I know you file your quarterly reports online, so those are already there. You just have to pull them out of your email and put them in a box. I mean, it's
I wanted to give you an idea of what we're dealing with. You know, I came in front of this commission, well, not the three of you. The two of you and the other 3 previous commissioners, and said, we're gonna fix this and get it going. I didn't realize how bad the situation is. How we had had to go back and get it all, start to a point where we can get it all reconciled and get it done.
But you've worked on
The most important,
audits since Dave Trujillo.
yes, ma'am, I did what?
You've been contracted out and worked on this type of stuff since David Trujillo brought you in when he was mayor / manager, and you've seen it all these years. You've always known, and I've always said that. And
But the difference between when I assisted the city for 6/30/22 and 6/30/23, the difference is I sat back in that office with one of my staff individuals from my firm who understands all this information. And we sat back there and we worked and we worked. And we never got called in and said, we got a staffing issue, we got a problem within the finance, somebody didn't come to work today, somebody didn't do this. So all of a sudden now, I can't just sit there and work. I'm having to manage and do other things at the same time.
so also, at least in the 4.5 years I've been here, you're the only finance director that's been afforded an assistant finance director, and that's why we put them, is for that kind of thing, the day-to-day that, so that you could keep working on the big things and that they could handle that kind of thing.
Yes, and a lot of times the assistant finance director is not here, but a lot of the time that he spent since June of a year ago, when he was hired, was trying to fix the problems in the water and sewer bill. It was a mess back there. We're finding all kinds of issues. It was just a mess. And we had to, eventually, the day I started employment, those individuals that were working for the city are no longer working for the city. We had to eventually just weed them out and get new people in and start all over.
Did you, or could you have sent them to trainings and given them more information, and then instead of just expecting them to know, or spent more time with them on their job? And because no one ever goes to trainings, they have things all the time, and we just go through people instead of investing in our people and keeping them and teaching them. And
well, one of the issues back there in that department is to deal with the public. And that's where you get people burned out, because the public comes in.
that's a training in itself as
You
well.
know, they didn't,
You learn
you
people
know, they
management skills and leadership skills, and you learn how to work with the public.
they sit back there and a person comes in, I didn't use this amount of water. Well, the meter shows you did. Well, there's a leak someplace, and then we have to send out Robert, see what's going on. Is it on the city side towards the street, or it's the leak from the meter to the house? And it's tough back there, working with those people, working with the public. So, I wish I had an easy
Those
solution.
people pay your salary, sir.
What's that?
Those people pay your salary.
Yes, they do.
Those people.
Oh, what, Commissioner White, what are you referring to?
That's the way you said it. Those people, instead of our constituents or our citizens or something. You said those people.
The public.
Thank you. Better,
public.
better term.
Okay. Question.
I'm sorry. Nope, Commissioner Rodriguez, go right ahead.
What are you asking from us?
For allowing down further in action items.
Mhm.
To be able to issue an RFP, a request for quotes, for a firm to come in to assist us to help catch up some of this accounting. That's
How
what-
long do you foresee us keeping them? Do you have a deadline or any
Well,
kind of?
I would love to be able to get the audits done very quickly.
But do you have an amount of money you're willing to spend on this, or is it gonna be open-ended, or, cause I mean, you have a big problem with what we're wanting to do, hiring an assistant city manager, and that's a definite cost. And this could be open-ended and cost us for years, and I'm trying to see what you're looking at there. 3 months, 6 months, 5 months, 2 years, 3 years? I mean, what, do you have like a deadline on that, or?
Oh, I would say probably maybe 6 months.
Do you have an estimate of the cost that we'd be looking at?
I do not. It just depends, it depends where we get, if, first of all, if there's any interest. And that would be the first question, or if anybody even responds to it. And we're willing to select firms, or if somebody's from, like, say, Midland, Odessa area, or Lubbock, they don't have to be licensed in the state of New Mexico, because they're working under me, and I'm the one responsible for what's gonna get done. So,
In your professional opinion, let me just ask it a different way. What would you expect a per hour cost to be, or, I mean, can you give us any kind of a ballpark of like a per month rate, or just any idea towards cost?
I have no idea what, it just depends what, you know, it depends on the level of expertise that they assign to the job. They'll say, okay, this person bills out at this rate, this person bills out. I'm not asking for like a partner, a CPA type that has 10 years of experience, right? I'm looking for the low end of the totem pole to help us build the schedules and help us gather the information. So it's not gonna be at the highest billing rate of those individual
Okay, thank you.
firms. So but it just depends, you know. And then other factors might be, you know, whether they're gonna be on site, whether we're gonna do it over the internet, electronically. We send them the information, they help gather it together. So that will affect the cost portion of it. So it just depends on that end of it too. I mean, we don't have to do it, but I'll tell you, I can get the audit done. Or I can get the audit done, but then I won't do the DFA reports, I won't do the bank reconciliations and the other stuff. There's only so many hours in the day.
Are you training Mr. Betancourt to help back you up on any of this? I mean, if he's the future of your position, is he getting any kind of on-hands training? Are you teaching him anything of what you're doing?
And that's another thing, you have Steininger to help you with the DFA reports. We've never had that. We have him contracted to help you with all of that, and no one else has ever had that before either. And Mr. DFA himself, right there for a phone call to teach anything, anytime.
Okay, so which question do I address?
Just her. It's
Let's
just
start with
frustrating.
Okay, as far as the training, Michael or Mr. Bencourt is like in my hip hop. He's learning everything that I know. And I think I've said before in previous meetings and conversations, everything I do is on the server. There's nothing on my lap or desktop. So, and it's very logical the way that anybody, Commissioner Ramon, if she was all of a sudden gonna look at the finance department, what are we doing? She could look at the folder, the subfolders, what are we doing here, what are we doing there, how we're reconciling the bank accounts, how we're doing anything, it's all there on the public, on the city's network. So yes, I am working with him. But there's been other issues that have kept him away from being able to help me. And one of those issues is dealing with the utility billings. It's been a mess back there. And I can't, in a public meeting, can't discuss how bad that mess is. But it's a mess back there. And so I am working with him, I'm trying to train him. And it's now, in regards to to DFA and the specialists that I was just asked about, I suppose, let's put it that way. The city hasn't paid for that. DFA has paid for that, anytime he spends time on that. And all he's doing is the formatting of the DFA report. That's all he's done up to this point. And why? I try to use people that are gonna help us get it done faster. I can do it, but then it's gonna take time away from me to do it. So, and DFA was paying for it.
Yes, I'm
Now-
all about delegation.
What's that?
I said, yes, I'm all about delegation. Use it where you can. That's what it's for.
And that wasn't costing the city any money. Any other questions? Mayor?
Oh, I have a couple of you, I'm sure you're, okay, not everyone, you and, I and Commissioner Perry had a discussion last Friday. Thursday, I'm sorry, Thursday. And at that time, I made a statement that I'm pretty, I guess, well known for. And that's, don't give me problems, give me solutions. So I task you with coming up with a solution to get us caught up and hopefully prepare us to be able to move into 2027. Sorry, I have to think about it. And be able to handle 2027 a little better than we have up to this point. Okay, so I read this RFP, and I'm assuming that you had Ms. Bolt help you with it. Is that correct, or did you? I don't know. I'm just asking for the kind of the history of the RFP we're looking at.
Mrs. Bolt wrote the.
Okay. All right. Ms. Bolt, can you come forward? I have a couple of questions, and I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
So let me start off by telling you it's a somewhat of an abbreviated RFP with the justification that this is, first of all, there is no accounting or the professional services that Mr. Fierro is looking for that is part of a state pricing agreement, is on CES or any of our platforms. The only thing, if he goes over 60,000, it has to go out for an RFP for public bid. So the justification is that when I wrote the RFP, is that it was a very quick turnaround to actually address this issues that we're having as quickly as possible and get our audit taken care of and get it aligned with the requirements from the state as fast as possible. And they would be working under a CPA and someone that's worked with governments before. So that's how we can kind of get through this process abbreviated.
Okay.
Okay. I can change certain things in
Oh,
it.
it's okay. Let's start with where we are. That's the main thing, because you realize that when we have these things before us, this is a request for quote. That's the way I understand it. It's an REQ. Okay, quotation. I mean,
For
excuse me.
qualifications, yes.
Oh, for qualification.
Yes,
Oh,
not
okay.
for
See, that's what.
No.
All right.
It's a request for qualifications only, just to align with the procurement law of the state of New Mexico, to ensure that as far as us procuring those services, that we're following the guidelines, which is anything over 60,000 requires either the pricing agreement or a CES type purchasing agent or a public release. So since there's no accounting firms in the other way, this is what we're doing, is we're getting a request for qualifications. We bring that, the committee basically looks at the qualifications, say, yes, these will work. We get it up and running as fast as possible. So that's where I came in, is just writing this kind of RFQ to get it through as quickly as possible.
Okay, I misunderstood that because, you know, we've had all of the, over the past couple of months, we've had a
Right.
lot of qualification of how we're going to request for bid, proposal, qualification, and I'm sorry, I just assumed it was quotation, or a quote, excuse me. And I was like, there is no way anybody can give you anything concrete with what is here.
You're
So,
right. It's just for me to go out there and say, they're qualified, they can go to the next round and be, approved. Basically, it's an on-call accounting, service to assist with what we need right now. I'm gonna go on topic just for a second. I'd like to get the on-call RFQs and stuff for on-call services that the city needs. And I'll bring that up next time, but that's what this is, just a request so we can review their qualifications. And then at that point, decide where you wanted to go from there.
okay, so as I stated,
Mhm.
I tasked our financial director, get us there. So he's enlisted you. Do you feel like this is a good first step? If we vote to move forward with this, can we at least find, possibly locate some firms or whatever that will be able to assist in these areas?
As far as finding a firm, it needs to be a wide search. The accounting firms in New Mexico that are currently working in this area with audits and, looking at the stuff, they're few and far between. There is a list with the state that we can try to review, but if we are going to go for basically this is a temp job. There are some other avenues we can try to assist with finding temporary workers, but this was the only way that I could write an RFQ to move as quickly as possible. Do I think it's gonna work? I don't know, because it's very difficult to find the type of firm that he's going to be needing.
Okay. Be with you in
One of
just
the
a
things-
second. I'm sorry. We got a lot to work out. I won't forget you though, I promise.
One of the things that we'll do is, if the commission approves it, we will forward this to the New Mexico State Auditor's Office. And then they will do a blast, email to all firms that do governmental work. There might be 30, 40, 50 of them. So that saves us from trying to reach every single one of them.
So when Ed asked me to write an RFQ for him, is that, it wasn't that the amounts that this was gonna cost came into play. It's just that could possibly go over 60. So this way, it's just to make sure that we're following the correct procurement. So.
And just a little background, I attended a webinar put out by the New Mexico State Society of Certified Public Accountants and the New Mexico State, State Auditor's Office. It was a 3 days webinar that I attended. I did not go to Albuquerque. I stayed here in-house and listened and attended the class. The first 2 days were dealing with accounting issues that apply to governments. The last day dealt with how different things are happening within the state of New Mexico. I found it very interesting. There was one presentation by a CPA, and her name is Emily Oyster. And I share the same, I understand where she was coming from because she was hired as a finance director for the city of Santa Fe, and they were 5 years behind on their audits. We're only 2 years behind. But there was no way that she could, with her present staff and her, even though she's a knowledgeable CPA and understands everything. So she had to go out and seek assistance from 2 CPA firms from Albuquerque to help her to get this caught up. And that, so I'm trying to, following the same track. I realize I can't do it all. I'm only one person and I have limited staff to help me. And, I just need that boost. The city needs that boost to get us up current so we can stay current. And, she did it, the firms helped her, and the city's current on their audits right now, the Santa Fe. And you can look on the website, it's all there.
Thank both of you for clarifying that. Don't run off. You may not be done yet. Just easier if you stay here.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions right now? Okay, yes, ma'am. You'll have to come up, you'll have to come up, announce your name, all the good stuff.
Hello, everybody. I was just gonna say that
Your name, let's start
my name
there.
is Tremesia Macklin.
Yes.
You know, I went to school with some of y'all know me from a long time back. But I went to school for biochemistry. I have my associate's degree in, science, but I have mostly for the last 10 years been working in taxes. So I have a lot of accounting and bookkeeping and tax experience. And I've been talking with the mayor for a long time about a position here. So I kind of want to help. Well, I do want to help. I wanted to help for a long time and be hands-on. And we talked about, you guys not having any positions open and, voting on having a position opened. And if you're open to letting me assist, I'm very, very good with numbers and I'm very tedious when it comes to paperwork and those types of things. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm here to help. I currently work for TurboTax, but I only work seasonally. And I was intending on leveling up to QuickBooks and Mint rather than just TurboTax the one already though. I've had for the last 5 years, I've had performance bonuses every year and a lot of certifications and a lot of things, including like cybersecurity and digital advertising, marketing. Like there's so many that I literally can't name them all. But I'm the nerd that you need. I don't look like the contemporary nerd. Hi, I didn't know it was you over there. How you doing? Yeah.
Okay.
I want to be your assistant is what I want to be, but I can wear many hats, So if you just give me a chance, like they said, it may or may not work out. I'm willing to, do like a temporary thing, but there's multiple things that I would like to do within the community. So wherever I can get in, where I can fit in. I would love to do that, but I want to help.
Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate it. Just get Miss Shannon is the first step you would need to move in that direction.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
So what
Thank
do I
you.
need to do?
Oh, just come in and see her and,
Okay, all right.
okay. Any further questions for Ed? All right. My final to you is, you feel comfortable that at least this will determine if we can generate some interest to help us out. You feel like this is the first step.
This would be the first step to generate interest. It's I reached out to the past president of the New Mexico Procurement Association. They have a program that is basically for government temporary workers, which we can send him also the scope, and it's a company that we actually hire the company and they procure the temporary workers for us, which would be accounting specialist for the finance department on that. But yes, for us to just do a class to try to get the assistance, the skilled assistance that he needs, this is possibly the, one of the few ways to get it. We can reach out, they can start calling, we can do some mass emails and start that way, just to see if we have interest. It's a very highly skilled profession and very much in demand, so.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Fierro, do you have anything further at this point? Oh, sorry. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry.
Leslie,
Oh,
does
yes,
this,
I'm
so
sorry.
if, it's all right, if they approve this tonight and it's put out, is it the type of RFQ that would require us to hire someone, or can we deny all requests? That's one, would
Yes,
it make it where we have to hire?
Well, it's a
No,
qualification.
we
That's the
don't.
reason I was a little uncertain. I appreciate
That's where
that.
I was at with that.
Yeah.
We don't have we do not have an RFP, an RFQ, or an invitation to bid that would not come before you for a vote on what you would wanna do.
That's what I'm saying, in the vote though, do they have to appoint one of
No,
those that bids?
they always have the
Okay.
option to not appoint or approve.
And this is just step one of many to find out qualifications.
Yes,
for
then
the
they would
next.
come, mhm.
Okay.
Right, so you always have the, and I think if you'll look at the actual RFQ, it does say in there that, are you looking at the RFQ? Okay, it does say that, the commission, that we reserve the right to, not approve any firm that's recommended.
That replies. Well, you said that is, we have the ability to not approve anyone that was recommended, I believe was your wording. I said, if anyone that applies. We have the ability to reject
Correct.
any application.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, or
Yes.
what, okay. All right. That was what, we just need a little clarification.
They're all a little tricky. I will say that the invitation to bid, especially on the federal level, when you put invitation to bid, when you use that language, bid.
Low cost gets it.
Low cost gets it. That's why we had to make sure that the plans and specs and everything are, and we have one coming up, wastewater treatment plant, and it's an opening for bid on July 9th. So we had to make sure that all the specs and plans were in place, because then at that point you have only two options. That's to either approve the bid as submitted from whoever put in for it, or deny. I like to do the RFPs, which is the request for proposal, and the RFQs. RFQs is a different thing, but I'd like to do the RFPs to allow you more options.
We understand.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Anybody? Ed, I think this is another one of those horses, I think we beat it pretty good, so. We're gonna, I'm sure when we get down here, we will, hopefully move forward, so.
And I'd just like to say, I really appreciate, Mrs. Bolt's, expertise in dealing with the, children. She's an asset to this.
Okay, thank you. All right. Moves us to our next, discussion item. Discussion of the strategic plan, Mr. Miranda.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, pardon the typo there. I just wanted to thank those who participated in our strategic planning session in March. 2-day event. We hadn't had one done in 11 years. So I just wanted to kind of present a brief overview of the findings. You do have a hard copy in front of you. It was a 2-day event. It encompassed a SWOT session, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, a strategic working session, an executive strategy and action planning session. The interesting thing about this strategic plan, as I've told you before, it's not that they compile all the data and give you a nice glossy brochure that you throw on the desk for the next 10 years. They give you an action plan based upon all the feedback. And the feedback came from county, top management in the private sector, the hospital, public safety leaders, religious leaders, the service organizations, the media, also key internal stakeholders, the mayor and the commissioners, department heads, the grant writer. And so this was looking at the city as a whole, as well as city government. So really, it was a real good cross-section. Could call this a perception study. So the key takeaways from this 2-day session, bottom line, Lovington has a strong foundation and community. I think we all agree on that. Future success depends on fixing housing and infrastructure, and we're gonna hear that over and over. Growing the workforce, but creating a more diverse and vibrant economy. Again and again, what we heard is what matters most: infrastructure, housing, workforce, economic diversification. So the SWOT analysis will start with the strengths: strong community pride, culture, and support systems, accessible, improving leadership and collaboration, safe environment with strong public safety. I disagree with this one, the last strength, low cost of living. We're kind of expensive, but people make a lot here too. Definitely a strong work ethic. Opportunities, economic diversification beyond oil and gas, workforce development pipelines and training, housing expansion and affordability, infrastructure modernization, quality of life investments, recreation and retail. Weaknesses and threats, we'll start with the weaknesses: housing shortage, workforce gaps, and as we see it in public safety, recruitment, retention, training, limited retail dining and entertainment, that's quality of life, aging infrastructure, limited capacity, and lack of unified long-term strategic execution, one of the reasons for this study. The threats we face are oil market volatility and economic dependence, water supply and infrastructure, workforce shortages, and outmigration. We, always compete with the county or the oil field, things like that, in terms of a city. Regulatory and policy constraints. New Mexico is a very tough state to get anything done, as we all know. And we've really tried to take this on in the last 3 years: resistance to change and growth limitations. What are our challenges broken down? Bench strength varies. Organizational knowledge leaves with retirement and movement. We don't have policies and procedures in place so that next person can take over. You might have a parks director with 1 year in that, and I'm not talking about Mr. Perez, 1 year in that position. You may have the street department with the top two people having close to 60 years of experience. So our bench is deep in some areas, but it's very thin in others. Aging water and wastewater infrastructure, as we all know, housing, appearances. People complain about how the city looks. Just this year we moved up to 3 code enforcement people. We are combating this blight of abandoned trailers and lots and junked cars and things like that. And it's grown up over years, but we feel like we're getting stuff done. Again, lack of policies and procedures citywide. In the next meeting or the meeting after that, we're gonna have code revisions, upping the rates for a whole bunch of codes, making it more painful and hopefully making people comply. Just getting that done took a year. We'll see when we have the session with the people who helped us. We do rely on GRTs. I know the mayor has some very creative solutions, so we don't rely so much on GRTs. And they seem like very promising. We'll be talking about them in the future. And a lack of a skilled workforce. On a positive note, I think for the 2 billing clerk positions in utilities billing, we had over 70 applications in 2 days. So what we have noticed is a lot more applications, and a better talent pool to pick from. So that's kind of promising. I don't know if that means the oil field is laying people off, or we just have a better reputation as a city. I don't know, but it's nice because we have a better pick of candidates. Advantages, we do have some department heads with a lot of experience. We are trying to cross-train, especially in finance. You know, Oscar's usually helping with payroll and he's back there. He can jump into water. I mean, hopefully we'll have the staff where we don't have to do that. But right now, it's good to have that cross-pollination. We do have a supportive commission. I think we all see that. I like to be as supportive as possible. Job security and benefits for city employees, you know, we do overall have a good benefit program. 90% of our health insurance is paid by the city. That's a pretty good deal. We have Delta Dental, we have United Healthcare. So we do have some good opportunities, and we are getting people that their primary driver in joining us is the benefits. You know, we're looking at someone whose husband runs an oil field company, and they're coming here or want to come here for the benefits. So it goes for a long way. It is unusual to have in a city this size, a CPA full-time on staff and a full-time dedicated grant development manager. And, you know, as Ed said, Leslie, return on investment for Leslie is like 30 times what she makes. I mean, it's just, we're lucky to have her. We do have, you know, the vast majority of our people back us. You know, they're always the haters on Facebook. They're the bulk minority, but the vast majority wants to see us succeed. And the public safety too. You know, we have a lot of support for police here. Good healthcare, and that means as a community, we are blessed to have Norley Hospital here. So these are some of our advantages. We are blessed in this community. So coming out of this, what Jordan Johnson, that was our strategic planner, did was identified strategic pillars. What does all this data filter down into? So the big 5 on all this feedback: community and public safety, infrastructure and utilities, organizational excellence. To your point with the Baldrige, you know, trying to go after Baldrige, financial stewardship and sustainability, community engagement, and quality of life. These are the big 5 that everybody thought we really have to go after. And then they broke it out into getting more and more specific: road and street conditions, emergency preparedness. Some of this has already been presented to the department heads. Some of this, Matt Ritchie already came up with a good paper on this. So these are the goals that were identified by our participants. And lastly, this is like a living document. They went even further and we came up with action plans. So this is a living document. It doesn't go in the drawer for another 10 years. We visit it quarter by quarter. We have a refresher in a year, and then we get an overhaul every 3 years. So I'm not gonna go into all these, but I will go into these with the department heads because there are very specific things that were addressed that we will work on. So it was inexpensive for the quality of the data. And I think this represents what the community thinks of us and thinks is important for the city going forward. So I'd be happy to answer any questions, and we will keep you updated with our progress on the various action plans going forward. It's like a quarterly report card.
Okay, questions, commissioners? Okay, I have one.
Yes, sir.
After each quarter that you present this, can we get a synopsis of ideas, progress, whatever we're getting out of that? Because as you know, it's impossible for all of us to be there.
Right.
So we would like to be kept up to date on what.
You deserve it. It shows that we're following up on the money that's already spent. We got a little sidetracked with the budget planning and things like that, so we're a little slow on the uptake here, but it's gonna be every quarter. You know, obviously some department heads are involved more than others, and ultimately it's my responsibility. So yes, the answer is yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I've got a young lady in front of you, and then, come on up.
Is it okay? Is it okay if I bring up the proposal that I talked to y'all about?
Comment needs to be strictly to the
Okay,
topic.
my
that's here.
name is Tremisia Macklin. Is it okay if I bring up the proposal I talked to y'all about?
No, I'm sorry. I said the comments that, at this time are to be for just the items that we have on the agenda.
Okay, I guess. So I have some solutions. I'm a solver. I know, I'm sorry. I like to solve things. Like, I like to solve problems. Like, I just do a post or something. I'm very passionate about it. Y'all know I'm very passionate about it, right? I have an idea. I don't know how you guys are gonna feel about it, but, I'd like to propose a project that would solve a lot of those problems, which it would solve the need for us to bring more jobs to Lee County and diversify those jobs and bring them in bulk. It's going to be expensive, mad expensive, but I think that we can do it with resources, grants, even if we have to I don't think we should do loans, but we can still do that, and you guys have the power to go to the county because you have the city, right? Right? So what the proposal is to put a zoo on the county property between Hobbs and Lovington, to develop it into this big, this big property where we can get safari animals. Because of the climate, us being in this dry region, we qualify for the best animals for the attraction. Like, I've been to some zoos that have, like lions behind a chain link fence. I have substantiation for that, but I feel like if they can do it on that minimal level, then we can do it on like a better level. You know what I mean? And I think it'll be, because the casino at some point became the crown point of Lee County, because of there being something to do. But the zoo will be a completely different thing because we can capitalize on holidays like Halloween, and have paid actors to walk around with you know what I mean? Just to make it fun. Because we don't have a Six Flags here. We don't have those things here, but we can bring those things, and like there'll be endless jobs for teenagers. They can do, those work programs for school to do some of the scut work that nobody wants to do, like taking out the trash and, you know what I mean, cleaning up around the lot and
Teresa,
putting the carts back.
I'm gonna slow you down just a little bit. I'm sorry. We have certain time. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick synopsis of what I'm hearing, and that's when we're on the quality of life issues.
Yes.
You would like, which we're looking at the strategic plan right now, but that will be an important part. And I would say just keep up with the time list, and anyone here will be happy to help you with those time frames, especially on the quality of life issues.
Okay, I'm willing to do the proposal myself, which is how invested I am in the idea. I feel like in the first quarter of the project, we could do land acquisition and then do the Association of Zoos membership, which at that point, the Association of Zoos would come in, they would appoint the construction company that would do the construction, and then the city and the county would be responsible for coming up with the grants and the loans and the money to pay the construction, which we can stretch it over like a 5-year plan, which would be a doable project, right? Instead of doing it over a year or two. But I know you guys have already used the Trails Plus grant, but if we were to use that, and I think that they're increasing it for 2027, but that is an outdoor recreational place. What I don't understand is if the city is the same, the city is not gonna be the same as the county, right? Because Last time the county had no cap and we missed that deadline. You know what I mean? There was no cap for, I think, 2024. And then 2025 they had a cap, I think at, what was 1.2, 1.5?
Okay.
Something like that million.
You're off topic. If you want to get on the agenda and come in and we will set a time for a discussion item, for this, if you'll bring, get with the city manager on, getting onto the agenda.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
all right, thank you.
Mr. Robbins.
Hey guys, sorry, mine's a little short. I have a few questions about this for my commissioner mayor.
Okay.
One of the stuff said that the citizens, these are concerns that the citizens have brought up. As a citizen of Lovington, I've never been asked about any of these issues. So I don't know what documentation or information you're getting. Second is, one thing I didn't really like about this, and I really liked your defending the public statement. When I heard a statement from the city manager right now saying the haters online will talk crap about our city, those are your citizens too. So they're not haters, they're citizens. And I think with the solution of this issue here is, last year, a few years ago, there was a thing called Lovington Cares online. And you go online and you can give suggestions, issues, or whatever, and you can submit that to an email. I don't know where that was taken off. I don't know why that's taken off. I would like that back on.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like, and Christina's my commissioner, I'll talk to her later about it. I wanted to see if I can get information of where you're getting this data, because I live in my district, and I'm 90% sure none of my neighbors have been asked this, or myself, because I just text them and none of them have that information. So I don't know where we're getting this, what we care about and what we want fixed. So that's all I had to say. Maybe y'all can look into that. So thank you guys.
Thank you. All right.
Was that just part of the discussion that day during the strategic planning, like people speaking out, or was it part of the?
I was going under the guidelines of the planner, which it's not a public opinion poll in as much as what they call key stakeholders. They want a mix of business leaders, religious leaders, and yeah, it's top heavy because we're constrained by the time and the amount of material. I'm the guy who put the chicken ordinance on Facebook for a poll. I don't think we've ever done that. So it's not to say that public opinion doesn't matter, but the way this strategic planning session, they wanted to pick the brains of people who are in positions of excellence in the different areas that make the city work.
So this came from that, is what he's
Yes,
asking?
yes, this came as a direct result. It's
Okay.
part of their findings.
Okay.
It's not my findings. This was input from, I wanna say, 18 to 22 people. As it was, it took 2 full days, and we sat in this room and ate lunch here. So it's a way of picking the brains of people who've been there, done it, someone like Mr. Shaw, someone like a county commissioner, things like that. Not to.
Yeah. No, I
not-
just,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I just wanted to clarify a little more for him where those
Perfect.
topics came from, so he didn't think maybe we had sent out a survey or some kind of thing.
No,
Like that.
no, it was, we started with a clean slate.
Okay.
And it was areas that they brought up. I don't think I'm allowed to release the list of attendees, but it was, the cross-section that the planner asked for.
Mhm.
Yeah, so.
Do you mind putting this back up so he can take a picture of the?
Sure, the one.
You want my copy? Which one? You want my
I'll just
copy?
take a picture. Thank you guys. It solves a lot of it.
Can I always get
And
them?
the first morning was all citizens of
Yeah.
Lovington, like he said, not city employees.
Right, I wasn't even in there. You know, I'm not gonna, people who own businesses, media. So it wasn't the average citizen off the street, but that is, you know, we get input other ways, and Facebook is one of those places. And I'm not afraid to get negative comments or things like that, because that's how I find out. A lot of times, people don't wanna call, they'll put it on Facebook, okay, I'll still accept it at face value and do something about it. But this was my first strategic planning session. This firm has a very good reputation. They're the ones that did the strategic plan for Norley Hospital. They came very highly recommended. So it wasn't so much a poll of public opinion. It was a consensus of business leaders, religious leaders, the media, public safety, things like that, to try to get us a strategic plan going forward.
Well, if
I can also say that when we did the comprehensive plan years ago, the public was invited and we had no input from the public. It was still those key stakeholders that came to those meetings. It wasn't the generalized public. It was very unattended, and we held 2 of those for the comprehensive plan, and we did not have public attend.
And strategic planning we have one every year where I work also.
It's a different.
And it's the people, the key stakeholders. It's our board, it's our supervisory committee, it's managers.
Yes.
With input throughout the year,
Right.
through Facebook comments, through people coming in and complaining.
Yeah.
And we sit down and try to make the best decisions for the credit union. So it's the same thing with the city. You can't have the whole public here or you're never gonna
It would take
get it done.
2 months.
You have to gather all your information, work together for hours, and come up with a plan.
You just-
And it's like you said, it is a living document. The credit union is a living document. We go through it quarterly also, and it's just how things are done.
Yeah, we
The
haven't
strategic
done it in
planning.
11 years, and it's trying to build a blueprint
Yes.
for our going forward to make this a better community. So it's not at the exclusion of the public, but it's, Mr. Shaw is a lot smarter than I am, and I'll gladly take his opinion anytime. So it's trying to bring people together who care and to kind of help us go forward.
And for the general public, it's important to communicate with your representative, the commissioners. Because we can't handle the volume of the public, that's what each of us are here for, is to represent the public. So communicate with your individual commissioner.
And also, not all the complaints can get put onto the strategic, like it can't be addressed all at one time. Like
No.
they take the biggest issues and move forward.
This is
So
like the 40,000 foot
yeah,
approach.
yeah.
But the nice thing about this one, I have looked at others, I looked at our previous one. This one really drills down to an action plan that's measured quarter by quarter. Like I said, it's not a nice glossy brochure that you put, looks beautiful and graphics and you throw it away for 10 years and then start from scratch. So.
Okay. Any further questions, comments? All right, brings us to our action items. Floor is open for,
Okay, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-037, approval of temporary use gas permit.
Second.
okay, we have a motion second for consideration of this resolution.
So we did not get a red line back from the company. So my suggestion is to remove this from the agenda, and when they finally do come up with this, instead of us tabling it, we'll bring it back
That was
as a.
Patrick's request that we table. Because he
Yeah.
wants to be able to bring it when he has it, instead of waiting a month.
Okay, so
When he has
if
it
you guys want
prepared,
to,
he can
but
bring it back.
that's up to you guys. But, yeah, we just keep not hearing from them, and we keep just, if we keep that same resolution number, then you do table it if you wanna keep that resolution number. Otherwise, it's changes to a different number when we finally have the paperwork.
All right. Any further discussion? Staff comment? Thank you, Crystal. Public comment? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner White,
No.
Mayor Roberts,
No.
Commissioner Perry,
No.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
No.
Commissioner Ramon.
No.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-074, variance for 8'3" setback from an accessory building from the main structure at 517 West Adams.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion second for the consideration of this resolution. Ms. Ball?
Yes. Mayor and Commissioners, we had a request from our owner. He's wanting to build a metal, storage building in his backyard. He had some, old concrete reconditioned in the backyard. And then I went to do the site visit and we found that he was only 8'3" from the wall of the home to where the wall of the metal structure would be. Our code requires an accessory building to be 10 foot away from the main structure. So I told him I couldn't approve it. He would have to come get a variance. So that's where we're at. The accessory shop would have no electricity. It's just a storage building. He said it would have no electricity. There'd be no other use for it besides storage. It is a metal building. His home, the exterior of home is brick. But of course you do have your wooden eave off of the house. So I know the reason we always have the 10-foot spread is for fire. There is no, he is far enough in the backyard that he doesn't have to have the 5'4" from the property line, but he does. And of course, there's no adjacent structure in the adjacent property, so. Planning and zoning did recommend this 3-1. The vote was tossed up, but, they did approve the 8-foot 3-inch for the accessory shop. Just with the approval that the owner got the state building permit and the inspections from the state were passed, or the variance would be void, so. That was where we're at.
And you said the whole shop's gonna be full metal?
Yes, it is a metal building.
I know, right?
I was like, our math isn't mathing.
So they're only gonna encroach on the 10 foot by not quite 2 feet.
Not quite 2 feet.
22 inches.
Yep.
Okay.
Any further comment or discussion? Okay, staff comment? Public comment, Mr. Ross?
He is the owner.
Oh, you're the owner.
I'm the owner.
Oh,
I was negative a few minutes ago, but now I'm positive. Hey guys, hey, please pass this now. Yeah, I don't know if it was 3-1. I thought it was anonymous. Everybody said yes, but I guess I was mistaken. It's no building. It's for my boat. I have a nice boat. I don't want it to get held on. So there's no power, there's no sewage. It's a brick house. Maintained it.
No insulation in the storage building. It's basically a big shade structure for storage of his boat and a few other items.
Okay.
That's what we have.
My question, so you've got the proposed carport drawn in there.
That's for his vehicles.
I'm so tired of hell. I'm so tired of dealing with insurance.
Well,
So
I noticed you got your boat parked out front.
yeah, I'm gonna try to get it moved. The boat's gonna go up back to the storage. We have a ranch, but getting it out there and back is kind of a hassle. The carport is already done. Was already approved. We already got it through the state. It's already done. That was just the whole plan for the whole situation. So that one's kind of.
So I was able to approve the carport. It meet all setbacks. So he didn't have to do anything but get approval, get a permit, and get it put up. But with the setback on this building is where we ran into an issue.
Because he's good on the side, he's good on the back end, he's just not good in between the house
In
and
between the
front.
house and the building is where he's missing those few in that less than 2 feet.
Wouldn't you rather him go backwards towards the fence than too close to the house?
I would, but he's already got the slab with the bolts in the foundation put together, so he would have to
This was
break
just so
that up
we
and
know,
redo a whole new slab.
this was a pre-existing slab from, had nothing to do with him.
He
with
had the slab
constructing.
refurbished and had of course the bolts put in while they
Right.
were refurbishing the slab for this building.
I guess the last city, maybe the commission allowed it. It's right here, this little square. There's a big slab right there. You can't see it because of the grass. So we
It was
cleaned it
covered
up.
over, yeah.
Yeah, we cleaned it up. I got it up to code. I did everything I could. Spent a lot of money getting that slab open, but to remove it and push it down, they said it was going to cost a lot more money.
yeah.
So
Okay, I was just trying to understand because it says proposed. Isn't my only question.
Yeah, it's because the slab is there.
Okay.
That's why we had to bring it for a variance.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Shannon?
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts.
Yes. Variances.
I know.
thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-075, 4-foot encroachment in the 20-foot easement behind 1101 North Main Street.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on this resolution. Ms. Ball?
Mayor and Commissioners, we had a request for an encroachment of The first paper said 4 to 5 feet. I went and did measurements and it does need to be a 5-foot encroachment in that alley. What they're wanting to do, here's the photos of where the guide wires from the electric pole that is outside their property line go into their property. Actually, they go into where the easement is. So in order to, basically they want to concrete where they're gonna have a driveway that goes into their property off of Pope. They want to concrete all the way up to those guide wires, so there's not this just dead space in between their concrete and guide wires where they're gonna always have to maintain weeds, or it's just gonna be a mud hole, or whatever happens to it, because it doesn't serve as part of the alley, because you can't go in between. You have to go to the opposite side of the guide wires. You can't get a vehicle between there, so between their property lines. So if they put their fence on their property line, there's just this dead gap. So they did wanted to know if they could move their fence back to just adjacent to those guide wires, taking up that 5 foot of the alleyway. I did talk to them about that. Street department was saying, well, then that makes the alley too small for us to maintain with our equipment. The owners were very receptive to, if that's a condition you put on that they would be able to maintain that. It's a very small portion of alley. If you go back to the other photo, the alley dead ends to the property to the north. I can't vacate the alley, because what happens if somebody buys that property to the north, they need that access for utilities. A 10-foot easement is appropriate to get utilities into a property. So it would still be 15 foot of basically utility easement, or access to that north property.
Are there any utilities in that alley at this point, and they're not going to put any utilities in this?
No, their utilities would come straight off Polk. So the sewer is on the north side of Polk and the water is on the south side of Polk. They're in that area. So they're gonna have to bring both over to that side.
So concreting the alley is not an option. Unless we put the.
How does Lee County Electric feel about the fence
Yeah.
being
But
right on their
yeah,
guide
we
wires?
still have electric pole, unless we get Lee County Electric to move that pole over 4 feet or 5 feet and put the guide wires right at the behind of their property.
Have we even
talked to
discussed it
them?
with them? Yeah.
No, I have not had a chance to, but.
Oh, okay,
I
well,
have, yes, you did talk to Lee County Electric. I thought you talked to them about
Lee County
moving
Electric,
the
and
line.
I talked to New Mexico DOT about
Okay.
moving that, yes.
Well, get up and tell us what we said. You didn't tell me that.
You were there! You were standing right there
Oh,
with me!
no, that's about the street light. This is not where the street light is.
No, it's on the alleyway, so the utilities are there, because the property owner that's actually right next to Prime Loop, he was asking about doing the extension of utilities too onto his property, because he's located right next to them.
He's the north property that needs this alleyway for the utility
Yes.
extension.
So, no, mine
And
was
they
not-
were
mine was
okay with
not-
the fence being that close to the guide wires and whatever.
I was,
So the fence would still be probably a foot or two off the guide wire, so Lee County Electric has access to those. But then that way the concrete, it would really be up to you guys. Do you wanna allow them the 4 foot would keep them a foot off those guide wires? The 5 foot would let them go right up to the guide wires.
So I guess I'm confused. What did Lee County Electric say about that?
When I talked to Lee County Electric was the front part of it, cause there is
Yeah,
a light
she had
pit
talked-
right in the middle of the property. In the front, the way they want to have their customers come in and out, the light is literally right in the middle of the property. And so we're asking DOT if they can move it. Lee County Electric said they would be willing to move it, but who's gonna pay for it? That was the other situation. And New Mexico DOT did say it's not cheap to move the light.
No, because they have to do a study on the light shed of what's that gonna affect for the intersection and the light staging all the way up and down Main Street.
This is why nothing can get done.
Amen.
So I'd maybe like to table it and get more information from Lee County Electric on
Okay.
how far they want to fence from their guide wires.
Okay, I can do that.
Because like we put them right on it and say you're okay, and then we're in trouble with them. And wind and things popping them and.
Do we know a cost on how much it would be to relocate
Are you
the
okay?
power pole?
Yeah, yes, but
Yeah.
New Mexico DOT said that it was gonna be from 18,000 to potentially 30, just depending how, cause they have to cap it, take the electrical and then actually move it.
Yeah,
And so
it's expensive.
they did say, I will tell you, it is expensive, and that's where the park comes in and who's gonna put the bill.
Okay.
And the reason this has those anchor posts is because it actually ties into the alley that runs south with another line running down it. That's why the anchors have to go into that property, so they can't remove the anchor lines, from that post, I know that much.
Okay. So can you amend my motion to table until the next meeting, until we get more information from Lee County Electric about their, what is that word?
Postpone.
Guidelines for distance.
Second.
I don't know what to say.
What she said second.
What she intended.
Yeah,
that. Okay. Any further questions? Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner Roman,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Postpone till the next meeting.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-076, approve budget adjustments for fiscal year 25-26 quarter 4.
Second.
Okay, we have motion and second for approval of this resolution. Mr. Fierro?
I won't talk.
Oh, I did.
Just gonna.
So this resolution or this
He let me take stuff.
budget adjustment request to increase the reported revenues for court fines and within the 709 account to make sure that we have enough to spend all that. It's not just the court, it's also the motor vehicles department and all that. And then the other one is to increase solid waste collections and their expenses. So 2 small adjustments.
Any questions?
We're good on senior center. No adjustment.
No adjustments needed for senior citizens. Now, we're still given an opportunity to adjust the budget for fiscal year 25-26 during the month of July.
July, yes.
If once we do the quarterly report, if we see something that's out of line that needs to be fixed, we can fix it. But I'm keeping a close eye on the budget. I don't think any of the other items, other funds, or need to be.
Okay. All right. Ms. Shannon?
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Roman,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
I'm very confused. This is for city boards, but all the information I have is like holidays and hourly meetings.
Let me catch up, hang on.
Cause
Oh, I
the
think
resolution says city boards,
Yeah, I agree.
but all this is
Oh.
holidays and hourly.
I think it's
It's both, you've got the dates for the.
the
city
meeting
board
it's
for
meeting
fiscal
dates.
year. Yes, meeting
And then
dates.
Bethany's
Yeah,
doing
for the,
lodger's tax for the boards, for their each individual boards.
And then the holiday,
For the city
holidays as well.
employees.
I'm sorry?
For the city employees.
That wouldn't be 2 resolutions, or,
No, it's one resolution.
cause it's all under city boards, so.
It's meeting dates for city, approved meeting dates for city boards for fiscal. Okay, and holidays for that. And holidays. Yes, you're right.
Okay. And city holidays. City observed holidays?
Yes.
Because that's why I was
Yes,
like,
yes.
this isn't. Okay.
I'm with you.
See, I pay attention sometimes.
And I left a copy of our current holiday schedule there for reference.
Right, that's what I was just like.
Yeah,
Boards,
that's-
holidays? Okay.
It says 26, 27 on it, but it's current.
Okay. Like to make a motion for resolution 2026-077, approve meeting dates for city boards and city observed holidays for fiscal year 27.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval of this resolution. Any further discussion? Staff comment? Public comment?
I'd just like to clarify that only last year did we make Good Friday a full day holiday. Previously, it had been a half a day, so I just wanted the new commissioners to be aware of that.
Is that last year?
I think so.
It was a year before.
I was thinking it was 2 years.
It was a year before last.
That's the reason I asked, because I don't know, doesn't matter.
But I do have a question. 'Cause
Okay, then you,
I know this year for Juneteenth, we the city didn't have that holiday, right?
Right, it was not voted on last.
So would that take one of the floating holidays per fiscal year away if we incorporate that Juneteenth in there, or is that something additional
I
to?
think, correct me if I'm wrong, Shannon, the two floating holidays are because we don't get President's Day and Columbus Day off, and also Veterans Day.
Yeah, we have, yeah,
Right.
You have to
well,
put on your agenda and make an order.
so,
To get it out.
I mean,
That's
y'all
what we did
can
for
add
this
as
year.
many holidays as you want. By resolution, our code, our code allows for that. I did look at that. And, that's why we added the Good Friday holiday. I mean, that's.
But you're paying.
So
what
when
you
they-
wanna do. I mean,
When they voted on the Good Friday, they did vote on the Juneteenth, and they voted
Yes, at
down
that
for
time,
Juneteenth.
they
but
voted
yes.
on both of them. That's right.
I think we had two options. We could have voted for both, deny both. I think we went 1 and 1, if I remember correctly, so.
Yes.
Alright, so right now we're just looking at the way it has been.
Mhm.
We're staying status quo with the way it has been. And then we can,
So we can
we
sponsor
can,
it, bring it up.
yeah, we can always bring it up and change or
Yes.
modify it. Okay. Alright, any further questions? Ms. Shen?
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry.
Yes.
There's the blue dog. For that one. I just purchased it from
I don't think we can adopt it.
Okay, where's the premium? Okay. I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-079. Approve temporary, wait, sorry, 7-8, approve investment policy for city of Lovington. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval of this resolution. We've discussed it pretty heavily. Is there any further questions or comments?
I would just like to thank Mr. Miranda for working on that and getting all that put together. He spent a lot of time researching and looking at other municipalities. I think it's a pretty fair policy.
Comprehensive?
Yeah, and it does a good job, so. And it allows input by the commission, or whoever on the committee.
I agree with you, Mr. Field. All right, staff comment, public comment. Shannon?
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-079, approve temporary accounting and audit contract RFQ 2026-005.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second for the adoption or approval of this. Any further discussion on this particular item? Okay. Hearing none, staff comment, public comment. Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland.
Yes.
To make a motion for resolution 2026-080, approve RFP for sale of 7 properties on North Travis.
Second. Hang on,
Sorry.
it's okay. I have a motion and second for approval of this RFP. Ms. Oh, yeah, I have a motion and second. I did. Sorry. Ms. Bone.
So I took what Mayor Roberts said, is that let's put an RFP together and see where we're at. I put the purpose as that we are looking for the purchase and development of 1 or more city-owned lots along North Chavez Street in Lovington. This is basically to identify the most beneficial use of that property. At that time, I took out all the dates. We'll have to actually figure out, and we're gonna release it along with any kind of advertising if you do approve it. If you do approve the release of the RFP, that allows us to evaluate the RFP and decide what you wanna do. Once it's released, because we do wanna follow the correct procurement guidelines, any questions related to the RFP release? I know, Commissioner Rodriguez will probably get a lot of questions about this. Just direct them my way. We just wanna make sure that we have the most fair and transparent and bidding process on this. We do not have to take the lowest price or the highest price. We want the most beneficial use. Any questions on the RFP?
Mr. Mayor, may I make a small addition?
Absolutely.
Nothing that probably has to be decided tonight, but we ran into this problem with the sale of the A&A Title Loans building. Just if the commission can think maybe for down the road, if we want to put a minimum bid for these properties in there. It doesn't have to be the appraised value, it can be whatever value you think. And I guess that would be written in.
Well, we don't have to do a minimum.
No, you don't have to,
We,
but
and we don't have to, we can put the minimum in if you like. We can evaluate, I did put in some verbiage as far as if they buy 4 properties, they may be able to apply for some affordable housing initiatives. So if we did put in a minimum, you may consider if they're buying multiple properties or just the 1 property. That would be after the RFPs come in, and then at that time, you can reject the RFPs, you can evaluate them. And I did it where you could evaluate 1 property, or you could evaluate all the bids that came in on all the properties. So,
And this is similar to what we did with the enriched communities, in that we can pick the winner of the RFP and then work out details on all that. Is that not correct?
Right.
Because it's back to, we can choose the best use of the property, and then if we can come to terms with that particular winner, if that's the, I hate winner, but the one that's rewarded, thank you, that was the word I was, then we can work out details, and if we can't come to terms, start over.
absolutely. There's nothing stopping the city from doing that. I also put in the RFP, in the, I think I put it in the legal description, or I think I put it in the front page, is that, we reserve, let me find that exactly what page. On
You reserve
page,
the right, yeah.
it was number 7. The city reserves the right to reject any or all proposals, request additional information, negotiate with offerers, request best and final offer. So if there's multiple, requests for proposal on one of the properties, we can go back to the bidders and say, okay, we would like you to submit a best and final offer, which kind of gives them another chance to think through their offer and resubmit, or they could say, this is it, this is what I'm doing with the property and so on. We put that language in there, award all or part of the properties or cancel the solicitation altogether.
Okay.
So, try to make it as
Flexible.
but as tight as we could possibly do it. So that'll give you a chance to really kind of review everything that comes in. The only question I have is, would you like a longer period for people to evaluate the choices? We can go anywhere from 21 days on through 6 weeks. So it's up to the commission to decide what they like. So.
You know, I don't like those words
I
at
know,
all.
I know. I suggest that we do it at a minimum of 30 days.
Okay.
It is an undeveloped piece of property. I did write that it's as is, and then whatever their proposal is, at that point, you would have the tweaking that you like as far as any kind of length of them actually getting this stuff together. We know, like Commissioner Ramon said, it always takes a long time in southeast New Mexico to get these projects up and running, so just put that in after the bidding process. Any other questions?
So your recommendation is at least 30 days.
Yes, yes.
Ms.
And
Holding, do you think that's enough?
That'll work.
Okay, thank you.
It's better than 6 weeks.
It'll take about a week to actually get the final copy up, and then I'll work with Shannon on getting it out to the newspapers, and we'll have it up on our website. Again, direct all the questions this way. If they casually say, just say it's on our website, it'll be a link, they can look at the whole package. When I did put the package together, I made it as user-friendly as we possibly could in our system. So it shouldn't be too tedious like some of our others can be tedious. It should be pretty cut and dried. Hey, here's what we want to do with the property. Tell us your idea. I did put in that we are requesting something, even a certification from them signed that says we have the finances in place to develop whatever it is that we want to develop. We don't want blighted properties. We don't want to do a auction like this. I shouldn't call it auction, but we want it beneficial. We don't want it to sit.
Is there a clawback in it if they don't do anything with it at a certain point? We can take
That would, yes.
That'll be later on.
That would be later on, and that would be after you evaluate.
contract.
Mhm. And then we'll do a contract. Turn that over to the attorney.
Yeah, that was my question about, do they have to prove they have the financial ability to actually purchase it? I'm glad you got that in there, thank you.
So, yes, it is, it should be, like I said, I slashed this down, but I made it tight enough. They should be able to really, anyone that's interested in this should be able to, and any questions that come in, I post. So if a question comes in from anyone that is interested in that, I'll work with the city manager. He may contact the city attorney, and we will post them on the website under the solicitations, so it will be a fair process, and that people can look and look at the questions that come in and the answers. And in the proof of financial ability, I put in, this is number 12, the required attachments. Attachment B, proof of financial ability. I did preface it by saying a form is not provided. Acceptable documentation may include bank letters, financial commitments, lender qualification letters, proof of available funds, financial statement, or other evidence demonstrating the offerer's ability to complete the proposed project. So I left it broad enough for them to get the data that we need.
Cool.
I heard no disapproval of the 30 days, so
Okay.
use your judgment there.
Okay, sounds good. Any other questions for me?
I hear none. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Any further discussion? Staff comment? Public comment? Hearing none. Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-081, approve street block party in the Fay Heights edition.
Okay.
Mayor,
Commissioners? You have to wait.
I'm sorry, 'cause
Yeah.
we have a second.
Second.
Okay, now we have a motion and a second for the approval of this resolution.
I never did receive the letter I requested for the times, so I did my best on the resolution and trying to remember what it said. When they came into my office and we did the map to do the proper steep closure, which is this, I had asked them to submit a letter to me of the date and the time of the exact request. I never did get that from you guys.
It's in your email. I emailed it the next day.
I will check my email, but I did write the resolution as best as I can remember.
It was from 4 o'clock to midnight.
And I think Dave Miranda has a copy of it. And you should all have a copy of it. We attached it to the petition.
I didn't get a copy of that either. That's what I'm saying, I never got the copies of everything else.
I emailed it to you.
I checked my emails.
Miss Shannon, can you amend my resolution to say, approval upon receiving all requested items from planning and zoning?
Second.
Okay. How about,
Like, we can say yes, but they can't have it
No,
unless they get other stuff.
I know, what I was gonna say though, not only receiving, but approved from planning and zoning. Okay, so,
Receiving.
yeah, work out the details
Okay.
when you send it over is what I'm asking.
Okay.
You got that? We have a motion and a second. Alright, so, I know you're here, first of all, who are you? You know that.
Jim Boyce.
Okay, what I'm hearing is, obviously it's gonna be on the 4th of July.
Yes, it is.
That's pretty simple.
That was pretty simple.
Alright, okay, you're gonna start about, okay, this is what your band told me today. Is the band is gonna start at 4:30 and discontinue at 8:30 prior to the fireworks.
Right, what I wrote in there, what we put in there, street closure from 4 o'clock in the afternoon
Right.
until midnight.
Okay,
You said 10 a second ago. 4:10.
no, he said midnight.
Did he?
He did.
Yeah, I did have that in the resolution.
Yes.
Okay,
That's what I remember them saying was 4 to midnight.
okay, alright,
And then the street closure is my next door neighbor, right next door to me,
alright.
on
Jared.
his property line to the curb next, across the street,
Property line at 1208.
at 1208,
Okay.
right here. And
Right there.
Hugh and Carter, right,
At the intersection.
right there at the intersection. That's it.
And how are you
That's
blocking the street?
So the other end is a dead end.
But how are they blocking it? Just cones or?
So traffic, if you guys approve this, what it is, street department will deliver the cones at midnight. I have asked, in the resolution states at midnight, the owners will pull the cones to the side so the street department can get them the next day.
Yeah, and we can, no problem. And then that gives the neighbors and everybody else a safe time to come out and into the front, into the street, do the barbecuing, and have all the fireworks in the street for safe and sane. Instead of in the backyards, everywhere else, it's gonna go all over the place. It's gonna be right there. And the band is gonna be on my property, right here in this patio right here. It's all cemented in right here, with this area here, and so it's gonna be all right here. And dancing in the street. To those who want.
I'm okay with that too.
So are you gonna have anything in the street whatsoever other than maybe some people shooting off fireworks? You're not gonna have anything else in the street?
Well, okay, my one son's gonna just pull up his barbecue and park it behind, and block our driveway.
The
And
only
then
reason
the other
I'm
people-
asking is due to emergency access.
Yes, there'll be access, emergency access, could be able to get in there with no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, all we're gonna have is like, people will have their picnic tables out there by the curb and their side of the street and all that. But the middle of it probably be just the fireworks and all clear, except for the dancers. It'll all be from the dancers.
I did also have in the resolution that since it was the request was made, the requester is responsible for all trash and cleanup activities in the area.
Where will your guests park?
Huh?
Where will your guests park?
My guests are gonna park, all my guests are gonna park, along here, and all over here, and I got this driveway over here, that's gonna be empty.
Okay.
So they'll park on this side and down the street.
Just narrow.
And anybody else come along, and if there's be plenty of room, anybody else can come up here and, almost double park if they want to. If there's emergency, they can move them real quick.
Doesn't work in an emergency.
No, it doesn't work in an emergency. You gotta have the center of the road, gotta.
Well, the
pretty much
center of the
stay
road
clear.
will be, yeah.
Cause right past that house, is the dead end.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
It's just
that's this
narrow,
house,
so that's why.
it's all dead end. So these people can have their people park and I'm gonna tell everybody it's gonna be blocked off at 4 o'clock. If they're waiting for the answer right now. So they'll bring their people all the way in and they'll be parking on this side and all the way down.
Chief Clerk, can we put no through traffic at either the entrance of Carter off of 9th or at the two where it splits there between Carter and Hugh?
At that intersection of.
Yeah, somewhere right there to just let them
Basically,
know.
it's 10th and Carter, put
Yeah.
a sign there that says no through traffic
No
on
through
both
traffic
directions.
both ways, right?
And I'm also going to go over on Carter where it comes around here.
Right.
I know all half these people over here, and I'm gonna tell them what we're going to be doing, just to let them know. So their teenage kids can't come around in front of my house and stop and rev their car up and so. I'll
Well,
talk to them over there.
I just don't want a bunch of confusion, and I realize it's a resident, but if you get up there, there's nowhere to turn
There's not-
around.
Especially if you got vehicles parked on the sides.
Exactly. So
there's nowhere to-
then you try to back out.
Right.
Then we run over something.
No, I know, but there's, that's why I'm gonna go
Something.
until like these people over here, there is that there is that curve right back in here. That I am gonna tell everybody.
Okay. I think we'll be able to work out the details. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions or anything else from you guys?
Are we invited?
Yes, I am. So is the neighbors, I'm great.
Oh, it's just.
I gotta
just
make
a
a phone
neighborhood.
call after this meeting.
So city manager Miranda's not invited to your party?
Anybody's invited, yeah, you don't come if you want to. You're all invited.
So you said you're gonna have vehicles parked along pretty much the roadway on the curb? Along the curbs?
Yeah.
Cause that's
So
that's a fire hazard.
that was gonna be my question was if you're gonna be shooting fireworks in the
Cars.
street, you don't want vehicles there.
No, we'll be, okay, when we start the firework, we'll push the vehicles out.
You push.
I'm not
Open
gonna,
up the
there'll
fuel tank,
probably
cut it,
be
shoot a
no,
firework in it.
nobody parking in front of my house.
I just, you would have to make sure you tell all your neighbors that the center of the street
Yes.
has gotta be kept clear
Yeah,
for fire
I
and
don't know.
emergency.
Yes, yeah, no, yes.
So at this point, I think fire chief has a concern with cars being parked on the street while fireworks are going on.
Yeah.
But if he starts moving cars right before the fireworks, then this can create chaos.
Yep.
Yeah.
With everybody trying to get their cars out of the way because it's blocked, because of this, because of that.
My suggestion would be
I
no,
know.
just don't have anybody parked in that section of the street.
I didn't see the left side.
Okay.
Silly, man.
Silly goose.
Okay, anything?
Yeah, cause you're already gonna have,
Serious.
like I said, picnic tables and other things, and it's getting really, really congested for if there is an emergency for us to get up in.
Most of the people, they have, the driveways are wide, and also deep.
So if they can
Across the
keep their
street.
vehicles in their driveways,
Yeah,
and then you just have a few tables out in the roadway, that's easy enough to get through.
Right.
I'm trying. Okay, any further questions? Staff comment?
Keep the music at a reasonable level.
Mr. Tony?
Cause I go to my girlfriend's cousin's, she's about down the road. Can you leave one spot in your driveway?
That alley,
to get
that
a
runs
nail
on
inside
to
the
here,
car?
that's gonna be open. In fact,
I
that's where I'm
agree.
gonna park, I'm parking my car back on the other driveway, so if I need to get out, I'm gonna use the alleyway to go back down to, the other part of Q, which should be 13th Street,
10.
or 10,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Okay, I think we got the idea. Work with fire chief, planning, zoning.
Sure, yeah,
Police
yeah,
chief.
yes.
All right. Staff comment, public comment. Ms. Shannon.
So when I get everything I need, if you guys approve it, when I get everything you need, then I would just call you to come sign the resolution.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Mayor Roberts?
I don't even know what I'm guessing, but okay.
You're guessing a street shutdown.
I know, yeah. Details later.
Commissioner Watt?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Commissioner Vermont?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
All right.
I'd like to make a motion to approve accounts payable.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Second. We have a motion and a second to pay the bills. Any discussion or questions? Any further comments? Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Vermont?
Yes.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes. And with that, the items of the agenda are exhausted. We are adjourned.